Hello everyone, I am going to step in here as I am waiting for VOD, as we do have a problem with the casters coming from LA. We're working on that, but no problem whatsoever. I also jogged over and I'm in horrible shape. So excuse me breathing heavily for just a second. We are taking stock for what is happening, and Nocturne is on the board, so I hope that Vedius is joining me soon. This is of course an extremely important game in terms of the tournament. It is a must-win for Detonation Focus Me, and I think that after the last game, we're going to need to see some changes in terms of the draft. Taking stock for Damwon, we see a priority again on Kai'Sa, which has been interesting, favoring that over the Tristana now, but we'll see how that evolves. And we have a Gnar in the top lane for Khan. Hello.
Have the priority in that one and can make a team completely focus on bottom side if they want to go that direction. Going into Kai'Sa Nautilus is definitely difficult, but it's doable if you can bring that extra member, turn off the teleport possibilities for your opponents. It's definitely a gamble, but with DFM, with how poorly the top lane side went last time, you know, giving over priority to Sion with the set pick there from Evie and not being able to get anything out of it, they might want to actually divert attention.
Ooh, Seraphine is a very strong champion. I think she is criminally underplayed, but no Diana comes through.
Ooh,
I believe.
finally!
Yes, jungle mid flex. She is very, very good in both roles. Clears incredibly fast. Yeah, she's been nerfed from her sort of peak performance from a little while back, but still an outstanding pick. Glad to see her finally showing up.
I really want it to be jungle. I'm really, really hoping this is Canyon Diana. I will wait until the last pick, though. There's a reason why they use it in the flex position here. Number 4 spot, set locked in again. Let's see if that actually means it is going to Evie. Actually should be a support set then, unless they want to do some weird support Syndra action.
No, they don't.
Should be support set this time around. Unfortunately, support set does not build early attack damage, so doesn't benefit from the last round of buffs. And a lot of supports have started to go away from the champion. It does give you that possible kill pressure for bottom side, though. A lot of possibilities if you can, you know, create this teleport difference with a Nocturne like we're talking about and try and make a big bottom lane play. If you win a team fight there, you can get the dragon, you can start, you know, that pathway towards victory. Meanwhile, though, I am excited. It is the jungle Diana for Canyon. When Diana got the Omega buff to her passive, extra damage on jungle clear, so many, you know, carry jungle players wanted to rush in on it because she does have such a good AoE output as far as damage and can set up for other champions. So yes, Diana does not have very good escape mechanisms because you have to find an offensive unit to then apply Moonlight to then jump to. But she has very good offensive capabilities from the jungle. And with the way that Damwon play, where they focus so heavily on controlling every little individual camp for Canyon, it's almost a guarantee that they're going to get Canyon fed, get Canyon funneled that extra money to be the true assassin carry Diana jungle that you have seen at home in solo queue.
Sure.
Let's see it here on the MSI stage. Can they do it against DFM? DFM are putting it all out on the line. They've got to win this game to stay in the running to get out of the group.
And Kobe, there's more threats than just Canyon on the Diana. Even if he's not going to be gigantic, even if he finds a way to give out first blood at level 3, he can still just be set up for Showmaker on the Yasuo. We just saw the other brother, Yone, take down DFM, bring out his other half. Let's go for this one. Gnar can set it up, Diana can set it up, Nautilus can set it up, Showmaker has a plethora of good targets, and if Showmaker has a target, then Ghost has a target. And those two are reaching the back line, and they are going to blow some champions up. This is going to be a really exciting, very volatile comp for Damwon, and they don't have a lot of disengage tools, but they don't need them.
One thing that should be consistent for them, though, is Khan on the Gnar here. I definitely feel comfortable even going into the Nocturne for Khan to play kind of weak side for Damwon and for them to, again, refocus on what got them here, on controlling those camps for Canyon, setting up these two melee carries that you're talking about, Diana and Yasuo, for success. And yes, she does have the pull in, so can have ult combinations between the two. And let's see about this start here, because it actually was a bottom lane leash here. They're doing everything already from minute 1 to set up Canyon. Brush check here, gonna go the way actually of a favorable health trade here for Damwon to chase him through the minion wave. Ignite 2.
Really big damage to the barrel, so dangerously low. He's ignited 1 auto. He's just gonna live. A flash chase from Utapon could have found himself the kill, but maybe could have gotten chased down by Ghost. Regardless, the man lives, and we get the laning phase already starting out exciting.
Woo, full confidence there too, just walking it forward, and it does look like, oh, it's more scary for Damwon. They also blew an extra summoner spell. Utapon did not blow his heal in this exchange, so even though they have a little bit lower health values spread out against damage traded on Tristana and some splashed over to Set, they still have the extra burst heal for another possible all-in. That's why we love watching these kill lane, bottom lane, melee support matchups, Freak, and especially when they're waiting in the brush there for the level 1 trade. Burning a lot of summoner spells on bottom lane early could attract junglers. Quick timing here actually works out perfectly for Canyon. He gets to see Udyr on the way, gets to finish off the red buff regardless, and because of the time traveled, once again, by Steel going for the invade, he's actually going to end up further behind in farm versus Canyon, who just went for the powerful clear. Even though it looks like it is pressure being exerted by Steel, it will cost him, is already going to be down not only on experience currently, but on respawns for your jungle camps. One of the biggest reasons why carry, farm-oriented junglers have taken over is because cycling those camps, getting them to respawn and level up is so important.
Ooh, Showmaker gonna be stunned, take a bit of damage. He's, not in range of the Syndra, so not any bigger threat, but now the team's gonna fight over the bottom scuttle. These junglers constantly battling back and forth. Udyr very low on mana is dangerous as well, though Barrel stunned up. The flash forward, nice dodge over to the Scuttle Crab, keeps him alive. Now Showmaker re-engaging. Kazu gets the shield up, and Showmaker, be careful, you're 200 health, and it's time for First Blood to come through again for Detonation. Focus me. Signs of Life right now pushed in again as they are just pushing Canyon away from his jungle.
And what's the secret, Freak? You just create a brawl in the river. Summoner spells have been blown early on. Showmaker really wanted to finish that one. Now Canyon's gonna have to flash.
Smites for health, but he's feared. Autos needs 1, 2 more. Flash under the turret, and Evie solo kills Canyon. It's my jungle now.
Are they gonna do it again, Freak? Last time around, DFM controlled the game versus Damwon. They got the early lead, and they ran that game almost all the way to the Nexus. Rematch here, though. Let's refocus on the river battle. Look at this. You called out Canyon, dashing away to the Scuttle Crab. But really, it's about Showmaker trying to go for that kill onto Steel, staying in instead of flashing out early with the rest of Damwon. When that teleport comes in for Evie, they've got to bail because you see Khan recall there back to base. That difference with the Nocturne and Evie flash following on Canyon to finish off that kill means topside as well gets the extra money and further funds Nocturne's experience towards level 6. This is still level 4 Khan in the top side, and even though they actually swap lanes so that Evie's going to take over on bottom side, a more efficient way to rotate the Syndra up to top side so they didn't lose out on any of those minions. Nocturne into Yasuo. Yes, Yasuo can dash through and has a decent amount of ways to try and break tether, but Showmaker definitely going to have a give early priority over to the Nocturne because you can easily just Q, move in for your passive, and get that quick wave push.
Alrighty, well, Kazu waiting to grab some of the minions, wants to share over what he can. Very large wave, though, for Ghost to farm, and he's already up 8 CS. The assist that the Tristana has, I don't think makes up for the farm difference there, so we are going to see a very large bottom lane from Damwon Kia. Steel still wants to invade level 5 versus 4. Smite gets the big Gromp, but now they're battling the big Krug, I should say. Canyon dropped to half HP, and now almost finds Gnar on top of it. Looks like most of this gold will still go to the Udyr. But yeah, honestly, the big Krug and at least two of the small ones went the way of Diana, so about half the value of that camp went the way of Dom1.
I gotta say, Freak, Dom1 coming in, everybody touting them as tournament favorites, looking to stomp through the tournament like they stomped through LCK, and it has not been anywhere near close to that. This is second game in a row where DFM are running it straight to Dom1 and getting the advantage. Steal, invade upon invade. I can't express enough how important that last follow-up kill for Evie, flash trading with Canyon and getting the kill, keeping Diana down in gold, keeping her away from the level 6, having the flash blown means that Diana, as we said before, has no innate escapes other than trying to jump to jungle camps or jump to enemy minions. And so these repeat invades from Steel, from Udyr, who has so much of an advantage with the speed, really do find purchase. He continues to chase them out of the jungle. He controls the neutral objectives as well. You can see him blast cone, no hesitation into the dragon, can solo that one easily with his pushing bottom lane. This should be another game where DFM set up to control the early neutral objectives and try and move in their vision to starve out Dom1. This is something they actually did pretty well the first time around. Try and increase their gold lead here. So you can see quickly already moving set here with the Udyr to try and move up and pressure mid as well.
Somewhat meaningful is the fact that this dragon was claimed well before Rift Herald spawned, so it's enough time to recall if you need to, or even just collect yourself and get across the map and play for the next big neutral objective. Big damage here. Oh, Kazu's got the shield, but he's burning down and he's gonna die in a 2-on-2. Bit off way more than he could chew, and Kazu drops.
Yeah, even without Canyon coming down, he was going to get 2v2 killed there. So big mistake, big opening there from Kazu, and Dom1 very happy to continue stacking Ghosts. As you kind of alluded to, Ghost being one of the definite possible big threats for this team, can still control the mid game. Yes, neutral objectives are going to continue to just cascade in the favor of DFM because Canyon did end up showing on the bottom side. You know, Steel runs this jungle, okay? Steel runs the show now with Udyr, can continue to invade, continue to grab all these neutrals. Now with the extra money that you can funnel into one of your solo laners with the Rift Herald as well, it's going to provide a lot of question marks here for Dom1.
Control ward there to watch for jungle movements. They actually know that Canyon took down the Krugs, but it means Khan has to hide away a little bit. 63 CS on the Gnar, equal or below every other solo laner in the game. Has to give away part of the wave in top side, but ultimately gets to kill the control ward and leave. Canyon also not counter jungle. This takes his entire top hand side, which, you know, for the first time ever, actually gets to take his entire camps without being stopped while doing so. So no dive, no play. Nothing meaningful except for the Herald pickup. Obviously, that part matters, and it will be more gold in the pockets. Detonation Focus Me up 400 gold, 1 dragon, and a Herald yet to crash to add 300 to 500 more. Maybe a bit above that if they can get more turret damage. But 82 CS on a Kai'Sa. You can see 3,400 gold. Yeah, highest in the game, basically. Sort of functionally tied to the Udyr. Ghost is going to be the primary carry right now.
And you can see the respect that DFM pay to Dom1 because the premise is there. The premise is sound of that play. Here we go, though. Nocturne ulting in for the pick.
Big damage on Nautilus. Is going to flash the wall and stay safe, but flash away for Cannon keeps him barely safe. Re-engage, though. Careful now on the set. Not that tanky. Shield comes in. Diana hard engage in the Showmaker. And it's already kill number 1. Heal comes in to keep Evie alive, though, and Showmaker is traded back out. But watch out, Tristana forced to flash away after the anchor toss. Re-engage isn't good enough. The front line's going to stay alive, but Ghost being activated means the team has to run away. Still, Dom1. Can they find the next engage, the next hook, the next jump in? With a red buff on Canyon, there are tools, but looks like DFM able to walk away. A 1-for-1 team fight overall. Started by DFM, ended by them as well.
They also are going to get Dom1 mid lane priority here. Ghost's going to push up this wave and attract 3 members of DFM. So this allows resets for the rest of Dom1, and they can get right back out, try and make use of the added extra time that they have to increase tempo. Crab picked up by Canyon. Side lanes pushed out for them as well. So it's going to be hard for DFM to actually regain control. This is a really big turnaround for Dom1. As you know, DFM are feeling so confident with the Nocturne ultimate, and Udyr actually getting the slow and trading for flash there onto Canyon. Definitely big getting 2 flashes, but the follow-through combination, the Diana plus Yasuo combo talked about for champion select does pay off. It's just that Showmaker, a little bit extra going over on the opposite side, and does give back the counter kill. Could have been a little bit bigger for Dom1 there. They still are able to get the advantageous push on the minion waves to push right back out and still reset. So this one, basically, you really have to keep your eyes on Ghost. Double summoner spells available for him. Going to be a very powerful tool here for Dom1 to use. Anytime you have Killer Instinct up, Ghost can join to make one of these jungle picks turn around in the favor of Dom1. Yes, Nocturne can turn off the lights and make it more difficult for them, but you would have to come down from top side of the map.
Less than a minute left on Rift Herald. Use it or lose it. Got to be soon here for DFM. They haven't gotten any turrets down to 3,000 health, so it's not going to be a first turret take most likely. They can still use it to force action somewhere else in the map as Dragon number 2 spawns. Udapon and the rest of the squad going to be safe to clear out the bottom wave. Timer now 18 seconds on the Dragon coming up. Leaderless looks like he's going to go for a very quick clear in his camps, but again, we're like 8 seconds away from the Herald timing out. This got to be summoned by Steel, and he's about to forget that he's got it.
All right, it starts blinking when it's low. It should be a bottom lane, summon of the Herald here. You don't want to, get into combat or anything like that unexpectedly as it's timing out and have it fizzle and not get any value. Bottom lane is the easiest to just pop it and then try and ensure that you do get the guaranteed at least 2 plate value out of it. Charge completes here, so does set up for the possible dragon. Everybody in range. Again, Evie can use Nocturne ultimate, then teleport in, and you still have time to cast your ultimate to be able to turn the numbers for this dragon in their advantage. Dom1 should respect that. You kind of have to expect that top lane dominance play there from a Nocturne. They are going to do just that with the early push on bottom, Rift Herald, and Steel easily being able to solo it up. That will be, again, secured here for DFM. Dragon number 2. Yet the gold still back in Dom1's favor off of these extra kills. So DFM, it definitely is getting a bit more tenuous than how they started out.
Yeah, sure. Gold's still pretty close. You can see the gold increasing over time as well. Now Dom1 Kia has the bigger coffers. The big tech for Nocturne, keep in mind, is ult, then teleport, then instantly hit the second half of the ultimate. You can prevent your opponent from joining in. That said, Khan just burned TP to go topside, held onto the cooldown in case it was going to be used for the bottom lane. It was not going to be, so okay, let's keep going for lane pressure instead. Stride Breaker is done. Obviously an important item to have there, a good power spike. We don't have it yet for Evie, so at some point we'll find him matching this one. And turret plates fall. Ultimately, 2 turret plates were cracked in the bottom lane. Again, 2 dragons to 0. That's going to make you feel better than just a simple gold lead in most cases. But it's a very close game regardless. Either team could take it.
Definitely true, especially with the powerful combinations that we have in
dropped
this
vision.
game. Topside should be a pick onto Khan. He flashes
What a
into
flash!
Number 2.
That flash means Nocturne can't ult in range, but with the set dunking him backwards, it doesn't matter anyway. With the reinforcements arriving, Evie still finds a way to claim the kill. Khan dies, burning his flash as well.
And look at that. There's not a lot of extra pressure out on the map for Dom1, so they can't get a tremendous amount. Everybody's trying to rotate towards bottom, though, and you already see Udapon backing off from the turret with mid lane, jungle, both rotating on this play. Should be mid-wave picked up by Canyon, and bottom lane zoned off by the rest of Dom1 in exchange for this top lane focus from DFM. You pick up the Rift Herald, you got the early kill. Evie's going to be able to finish off tower and have the priority to take down a second tower with Rift Herald number 2.
Well, Kobe, I'm sorry, but Canyon is not going to be the carry assassin. He is the setup tank for his team. Ghost and Showmaker are the ones with the gold. Hard CC from Diana sets up both of their ultimates, and that's all he really has to do. That said, Canyon is still going Nashor's first. He is still going for the squishy high damage build. Really didn't have to. Honestly, this would have been a game to consider, just like screw it, go Rocket Belt and make sure I can get in. It's not going to be a huge deal regardless, but a thought to keep in mind. Dom1 Kia is certainly not a shoo-in for winning this game. And once again, to set the stakes, Detonation Focus Me. If they win, they become Infinity Esports' biggest fans. If the Latin American squad can then beat Cloud9 after a DFM win here, Detonation Focus Me tie breaks Cloud9 for the last spot out of this group.
Exactly. And let's talk about some of the tools that DFM then do have to deal with these carries from Dom1. Now, the combination of dive partners of Nocturne and Udyr is actually really potent versus melee carries. You get a bear stun into a fear tether from Nocturne. So the bear stun lasts almost the duration that you need to get the rest of the channel down on the Nocturne fear tether, and they chain really nicely. So Showmaker's positioning, yes, be fairly careful with it. Don't let Udyr get too close. Yes, Udyr's Chem Tank's boost of speed was taken down a little bit, so maybe he can try and avoid it that way. But if Udyr ever gets close to you, it almost certainly means Nocturne ults in and gets the CC combination. There's the ult wasted, though, as the rest of Dom1 are right in front of their tower. It can easily retreat.
Well, one of the big deals, though, to keep in mind, actually, is you cannot Yasuo ult without vision of what's been knocked up. If there's a CC chain coming out and Nebby turns the lights off, Showmaker can ult in melee range, but that is not going to be in range of most Nautilus ultimates, most Gnar ultimates, or most Diana ultimates. So if Evy's quick on the trigger, he's functionally spell shielding his entire team and prevents the Showmaker Wombo combo. That is really meaningful and a timer to watch out for sure.
It definitely is. Nocturne Ultimate, one of the most overlooked sometimes tools in pro play with that vision denial. I know also—
Was that intentional, Kobe?
Yeah, I also know on top of it, it's always funny to hear pro players talk about, comms during Nocturne Ultimate. I think I've heard every single pro player talk about how, everybody kind of reverts to just being like, I can't see. And it actually messes up your audio comms as well as your visuals in game, because everybody has that visceral reaction to it.
So Kobe, I got some tech for you, okay? Have easily accessed binds for your teammates. Mine's actually 1, 2, 3, 4. I rebind my items. Duskbringer shows through Fog of War. So just press 1, 2, 3, 4 and see which one has Duskbringer on them. You're like, it's that guy. And then you ping for them because they're too dumb to do it themselves.
Yeah, I mean, the key bindings for camera movement for teammates is a standard for junglers, at least for sure. I definitely recommend it as you do as well for all players. But super, super important for junglers to be able to check all lanes as well. Here we are setting up for the dragon, though. That thing gets burned down.
Rushing it down. It's going to be grab no problem. So Dom1 has slowed the dragon stacking. They're going to find an engage. So here we go. Lights turned off. Nocturne going to arrive. The dunk comes in. Is it enough? Arya picks up Khan. Trade it back 1 for 1, but Ghost is dead already. So it's Showmaker and Kanan against the world. And the resets come in. Yutapon is on the chase. 3 versus 2. The dragon went to Dom1 key, but the team fight went to Detonation Focus Me. So Showmaker trying to find a way out. He'll be stunned up. He's going to find some decent damage. He'll find a bit more, but it's not going to be enough. 4-2 in the team fight. A red buff claimed as well.
They nerf support set, and Kazu doesn't care. Freaky dunks the entire team. What a big opening from him. Right in to the face breaker plus W over the entire squad. What a setup from Kazu here. Dragon gets burned down, so the objective is gone. But as Udyr gets hooked in, he flashes for the 4-person ult with Nautilus, then barely got off the face breaker into the W setup for his team. They're able to pick up the extra kills on the outside, chasing down Showmaker as well. It's very unfortunate for DFM that they lose the dragon before that, because that would have set them up for Soul on the next dragon. However, getting that extra gold in the team fight victory for them will go a long way. You see now bounties sprouting up on multiple members.
Here we go, 1,500 gold lead and still up a dragon. And with the comp countered a little bit, the more I watch this game play out, there really are some good, soft to hard counters available. Again, Nocturne turning out the lights, preventing the Yasuo combo. Look, sometimes he's in melee range anyway, but sometimes he's not, and here comes the play. TP channeled in time. Careful for Kazu, he's dangerously low. Mega Gnar is there, finds a verse setup, and now Steel has to run away. Barely sidesteps the anchor, and as I say, the comp is countered. Dom1 Key to find their way right back in.
Kazu's name in lights, it only lasts so long there. After the dragon fight gets picked off so quickly, Khan on Gnar chases him down, relentless here, and Dom1 now with the power play.
And right away, on to the Baron without a Nocturne ult to play around. He doesn't really have one in the first place. They're just going for it. Dom1 Kia are not going to pay respects. They're going to say, look, you can try, but Steel, your smite is on D. And that is the combo! combo. That's what they were looking for. Canyon sets him up. Showmaker knocks him down, and Steel will not have a chance to get one in this game. He's gonna walk away. Back to the mid lane. Khan zones him out though. Baron gonna be claimed by Damwon Kia. Just when you thought Detonation Focus Me got what they wanted, they lose it all.
And the poise on stage here for Damwon. You see the instant turn. Such good focus from them. Actually, Khan goes for the solo.
And he's gonna bowl. What a shot. The boomerang claims it in the end. Khan knocks down Steel. And just like that, Damwon Kia up 4,000 gold.
All right, Damwon trying to extinguish the flames of hope here for DFM. Really good turn off of Baron there. Again, another good usage of the Diana plus Yasuo combo, but really the follow-up kill being given over by Steel. No respect from him towards Khan, and Khan takes another frontliner's life. Look at Canyon though, flashes in for it, fully grouped up as they're trying to make their way through this small jungle corridor into the Baron. That is one of the most dangerous spots where we see so many games being lost. Here's Canyon's point of view as he, actually that was Showmaker's point of view as he follows up on Canyon and is able to get the ultimate off of the knockup there. Quickly dispatching all of DFM and setting up now huge momentum for Damwon. With this Baron buff, it makes it so easy to revert to 4-1. Even though Showmaker doesn't have teleport, doesn't matter. You only need to play 2 lanes. Khan down bottom side has been very big for them in the last 5 minutes or so, especially on this Gnar. You can easily push in that side lane while everybody else just buffs up these minions in the mid lane and slowly whittles away.
All right, well, it's time for the Japanese squad to dig deep to withstand the Red Bull Baron power play that Damwon's picked up and find a way to come back in later. They can still make the split map plays. The TP advantage for Nocturne just exists because of the ultimate. Khan always has to be early or it's not going to happen. That's certainly a big deal. Let's see what can come through as now right now the bottom river is going to be owned, and with the Baron buff still on for a minute, second dragon should be no problem for DK to pick up. So Damwon going to tie that scoreline and be 10 minutes away from Seoul themselves.
Okay, so Damwon have, well, maybe they get a pick here.
Mega Gnar though, and you could have maybe looked for the dunk, but that's pretty scary and not always likely to work too well. So they're going to wait it around, but maybe, just maybe, DFM chooses to go for the fight anyway. I'm not sure it would work out. Nocturnals pop. They're going for the fight, but they're all stuck right in the brush. The front line held well by the Nautilus. Takes absolutely 0 damage, but still in the back line. Set tries to buy some time. It's a trade of 1 for 1, but the re-engage comes in for 3 more kills. And just like that, DFM answer easily. They tried, and no, they are killed. -2 for the fight. Showmaker knocks down the wave. Time to kill mid lane tier 2.
Yeah, they go a little bit early there because Khan still had Mega Gnar. Khan still had the timer. If they waited a little bit and he went mini and then tried to force it, maybe have a better chance. But as stated from Champion Select, this Damwon team is an Omega dive heavy team. They have this giant wombo combo they're trying to use. And if you dive right into the Gnar, Diana, Yasuo, Nautilus, then they are going to use it. Giant combination there, picks off another team fight for Damwon, and since they have so much control now, it's just so easy for them to set up at these objectives, force DFM to divert away from spreading the map, which they would want to use, so they could actually get big value out of Nocturne Ultimate and into the team fights. So there you see, Khan uses the last of his Rage Bar, gets off his ultimate, and even with the support exchange there, the follow-up, once again, it only takes a couple of members grouped up. Diana goes in, full combination lockup here from Yasuo as Showmaker is able to press R. And look at that, all the bounties now have switched sides. And after multiple team fight victories here, Damwon should be able to continue to execute. It's very simple when you have comps like this that excel when grouped up, excel with these synergies, and easily can layer their crowd control.
That one looked nice. 400 damage from Showmaker. He was just there to hold him in place to make sure the back half Diana could land. No one could flash out of the circle. So, sometimes they just take turns being the primary carry. This time around, Canyon got to do it. 2-2-6 now onto him. And despite how much he got set back in the early game, how aggressively Steel counter jungled him, well, he's ahead in farm. He's ahead in kills. Looking pretty good.
Yep, and as with AP junglers, one of my favorite things about this resurgence of AP junglers recently is that you can invest in these dark seals. It's such a strong item, I feel like, early on, super efficient. And now those being stacked up also lend towards junglers actually upgrading towards Medjais and being those, living that assassin dream, living that super hard carry dream. So Showmaker approaching the level, 16 on Yasuo as well. They do spread out. Khan trying to get away and does break the tether.
Yep, Hop Stride Breaker's enough movement to get away from that one, so nice try Evie, but not going to find anything good, and the attempted follow-through not going to be there either. Of course, Baron's timed out for a while, but next one spawns in 40 seconds. As Damwon just start taking over the western jungle, they're going to have no problem making sure that Detonation Focus Me cannot walk in and contest that.
All right, again, it makes it so difficult when you have this potential for dive, this potential for combo here from Damwon, for DFM now to actually extend anywhere on the map. You see this very good job of Damwon leaving super deep vision in both sides of the DFM jungle. They can then starve them out of their own jungle camps while they wait for the spawn of the big neutral objectives. Baron's up in 3 seconds. They can easily rotate over. Showmaker doing his part, clearing out the jungle as well. It's immediately started up. And again, it's so difficult for DFM because they have to funnel through these small corridors in the jungle if they wanted to try and check. And that's just a death sentence versus either Yasuo knockup or Diana knockup or Nautilus ultimate knockup, and they don't want to go for it.
So they find Khan instead. He's about to be Mega Gnar, but it should still be some decent damage. Gets the stun. Be careful. Mega Gnar puts them all into the wall, and Ghost is here. Boo! And he's looking for a bit of damage. Sadly, though, DFM.
Oh, I'm scared.
Honestly, DFM should be, though. Baron's been claimed. Nautilus ult sets up. Easy peasy. The lemons and limes are squeezy. There's a couple of kills picked up for Showmaker. 2-0 in that fight, and Damwon now up 9,000 gold. Make it a little bit more. Not a problem for Canyon. He's even got the DFM flare for good measure, but this fight is over. This game is over. And though the early game looked good for the LJL, they have been eliminated from MSI 2021, and this game is under 30 minutes short. As more kills come across, the ults are already back up. An ace finally in the end. Damwon Kia gonna end it 5-1 in the group stage. DFM looked good in the first week, but a 2-4 scoreline will not move on to the next.
Honestly, yes. Huge congratulations to Damwon. They had already moved on. They get another win here under their belts for DFM and for them going home. I think this is actually the best international showing that we have had from the LJL. I think they can be incredibly proud of the work they put in here. This team is actually going to get even stronger when Steel gets residency in Japan. Currently, he's taking up an import slot. They can get their previous support back into the main lineup as well. So I think there's a lot of good things ahead for the LJL in total, but especially for DFM. They really came to play here at MSI in